You are listening to BnDnD, a show where we drink some beverages and play some Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm Marquise Hamilton, the Dungeon Master, and I'm here with...
I'm Sarah Rodenberg, playing as Korgan Court Smasher.
I'm Robin Jost, playing as Beadle Bramblepatch.
And I'm Jared Lindenau, playing as Mugen Genkai.
All right, so last time you guys headed out of Hardfoot Village on your cart. After a couple hours travel, you decided to set up camp. Burrower ran off and fetched some water for you guys. Korgan immediately set up tent and just passed the fuck out. You guys set up a fire. The next morning, Beadle woke up pretty early and just locked himself in his cart. There was a lot of crazy iridescent light and the cart started shaking, which woke up Korgan, who joined Mugen next to the cart drinking some coffee. You guys experienced coffee for the first time. When Beadle emerged, there was a mechanical bee that came out with Beadle. The bee seems to have a personality of its own. It seems to be able to understand you guys and take orders and do those things. You then started heading back. Hard worker bee. Yeah, started heading back to Certay'n once again, and because Burrower was also given some coffee, you guys made it in record time. Headed into the city through the busy, bustling streets as the city was kind of waking up. You guys got there pretty early, actually, because Burrower was just fucking hauling ass. And first thing you did was to go to the bank, which Korgan needed to set up an account. But because you guys had so much money, you guys got a little bit of a special treatment where the teller, who was a sentient deer, went and got his boss and the bank manager, and you kind of expedited the whole process for you guys. You guys were given special access to a bag of many hands. So essentially what that will do is they are coded specifically to your person. They're bound to you, and so only you can reach in and reach into your bank account and pull out whatever you guys put into that bank account. After that, you guys decide that you need to go do some more research, maybe tie up some loose ends and say goodbye to some people, and that's where we last left off. So what are we doing?
All right, I think it's time that we go our briefly our separate ways and do what we all need to do, and then meet back up at the gate of the Exalted Rise to decide where we go from here.
Yeah, we can look for Bronson. He said he was coming here. We can see what he was up to, and then we can figure out where we're going.
Yeah, actually, on that note, Beadle, I don't think I'll have time if I go pay my rent and then go off to the library. Would you like to take the medallion to see if maybe you can find more information on Bronson? And
yes.
Yeah, maybe we can find him. I don't necessarily need to see him again. He was fine.
Well, being a member of the Mary Kai Guild, they might have knowledge on where I can locate this, Chemical Hammer Society Guild. So, I will take the medallion with me and get what information I can. So, and then we'll meet, it's sunset at the gate of the Exalted Rise?
I don't think I need that much time. It's still pretty early, right?
I might need that much time, but that sounds like a good time to do it. I'd like to do a little team building exercise.
Or maybe we could meet at the pub.
We could do that too if you'd like.
That sounds team building. What do you have in mind now, Mugen?
Drinking ale is a great team building exercise.
Should we do that now?
Yeah, I'd like everyone to put their hands into the center.
Oh.
And in between us here. Yep, right. Stack them up, stack your paw, right? And then we go 3, 2, 1, go team. I don't know our team.
It would be much more exemplifying if we had a team name.
Well, maybe we can think about that later.
Okay. It'll come to us.
Something that describes us as a group.
Yes.
We could that when the stories of our adventures are told amongst the rest of the world, that
I don't want people
they have a
talking
group.
about me.
Or maybe not.
Why would you not? I mean,
It's free promotion.
Promoting what?
you're
I just
powerful
wanna go around and help
and
people.
spirited
And
dwarf.
how would people know who to ask, to who they need help for, if they don't know our group name?
Oh, so we need to become famous so that the people know to ask us for help.
Yes,
That's
when
an
they
entire
when they
possibility.
call upon the Power Rangers, that is who
What are the Power
I
Rangers?
don't know.
It's a very specific group of rangers.
Are they hunters? Oh wow!
Yes, when they call upon the Power Hunters, they say "Go Go Power Hunters," and then they appear. So it'd be the same, but they would call upon us, and for when they need someone to investigate,
I'm
rescue
persuaded.
damsels. Yeah,
I'm in. Damsels, I'm in.
yes. Rescue damsels, persuaded to buy wonderful products,
I'm gonna go.
attain valuable knowledge.
You should go.
We'll get there.
All right.
Well, either way, I'm glad that we're here, and I think it's time for us to go do our things.
All right. I'll see you guys back at the gates.
Yes. Or is there a pub near the Exalted Rise?
There is a pub that is like near the entrance of the Exalted Rise called like
And it is called.
the Upper Cup.
Ready? Let's go.
It's very fancy looking.
Okay.
So, we start this part of the story with Korgan. You make your way through the city streets, past the crowds, and head towards your home. Are you doing anything?
I think I want to go talk to my teacher first, and then go to my parents.
Okay. Within this like labyrinth of an underground dwelling,
Guess what time is it? It's daytime.
it is daytime. Yes.
I mean, does he have a free period I know about?
You actually know that he specifically has like office hours scheduled for this time.
Oh, that's so convenient.
yeah.
I love it when that works out. Okay.
Yeah. So you head in within this labyrinth of this underground dwelling. It's essentially like an underground version, like a city, that you make your way around the twists and turns of the corridors, and eventually come to the section of it that is considered the school. You keep going down the corridors to this office of this professor teacher that you know, and knock on the door, and you hear, "Yes,
Professor Orstriker,
yeah, this
it's Korgan. Can I come in?
definitely come in, Korgan."
Hey, why do you sound so fancy today?
Well, I'm a learned man.
That's true. You are pretty smart for this place.
Yeah, I always have the hankering to maybe go out there and explore some things. But
I
a book is.
did that.
You did that?
Yeah, you want to see some stuff? And I pull out one of the scrolls, and I pull out one of the, like, if there's like an artifact or a coin that had to do with like the old dwarven.
No, you found like books and scrolls.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I pull out like one book and one scroll, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I found this stuff, and it was like, I remembered from class that it was this really old dwarven race that we don't really know a lot about. You know how they were like in where the burlap foothills are now? Well, I went over there, and yeah.
You found these in the burlap foothills?
Yeah, in a cavern with a minotaur.
He like unfurls the scrolls and kind of like flops open the books, and he starts like going through them, and he's like, this is strange. This is a very old dialect. No one writes like this anymore.
Oh, so I wasn't just dumb when I couldn't read it? That's good to know. I was struggling.
No. Like, what was taught to you is the common Dwarven language. This is no one writes like this. This is so weird. You said you found this in the burlap foothills.
Yeah, it was in the holes. There's the little hole. Like they live in old dwarven ruins. Hardfoot. Have you heard of Hardfoot? It's a little town up there. There's a really
I've heard
cute,
of this small town.
There's this really cute halfling named Balzana that works as a herbalist there. She's just so pretty.
You see that he's just kind of like moving a finger along the lines, and he's like, right. And he just keeps going.
So what's it say? What is it?
So, this is, I don't know how you've found this. This is crazy. These are describing a time before the shattering. When our people, the people that you and I descend from, lived under the mountain, and they would migrate to. It says here, there was a pilgrimage that they would make to visit this looking glass, and you could essentially, pray to it, and it had some sort of magic that would, provide for the people. It's a little unclear. I'm not exactly sure on the.
Have you heard of it before?
I've heard of the Looking Glass before, and I know that the Shattering was an event, but
do you think
this is unprecedented.
Is a piece of it? And I put my axe and I point to the gem.
He kind of looks at the gem, this silvery, like nondescript shape. It's not in the shape of like a gem, that you would normally see. It's just kind of like it weirdly fits into this like almost crude looking slot, like as if like you poured like a liquid into it and it just formed itself to it. It's like I don't know what that is. It's not that's not a gem that I've ever seen before.
It makes me real strong.
Well, this is. Give me a moment, and he keeps looking. Yes, there was. This talks about, and I know about the Shattering, and I know that there was a thing called the Looking Glass, but this is talking about before that, before when it was first found. It says here that these ancient races, like it's like a primitive version of us that found this looking glass, like in a cave. They were setting out to try to map the world and explore it and learn what was out there, and they found this expanse that went far underground, into a crystalline cavern. And down in this crystalline cavern, they found this large, round, silvery gem that reflected back on you, and it spoke to you in a way.
I have one more question for you, Professor Ohrstriker.
Yes.
Dumathoen's pretty cool. He's fine. Like, he's great. Yeah, Dumathoen Academy for Dwarven Diligence.
Yeah.
Proud.
People say that he's great.
What do you know about Marthamer Dewin?
He kind of like looks around the classroom and looks at the door, makes sure it's closed. He's like, well, what do you know about Marthamer?
Well, I think I talked to him the other night, and he stopped time to talk to me and kind of spoke in riddles.
Marthamer spoke to you?
Yeah, I touched him. He was there. The time had frozen. My friends were frozen. He laughed. And then he told us to look for something in the hills, and then that's how we found these scrolls and things. So
you see, he kind of like.
I also think he likes this axe as well.
Like
he has something to do with it.
You see that he like sits back, takes in a deep breath. By the gods, you've spoken to Mortimer. This is it hasn't happened in quite some time.
I think my parents are going to be mad that it wasn't Dumathoin.
Well, given our society, I could say that they, not mad, but this is outside of the norm. You see, he rolls up his sleeves and he kind of like starts going through the book again. He's like, what else did you find? As he's like reading through it.
Well,
Seems very interested.
Just the axe that has, I think that this is the symbol of Marthamer, and he talked about the axe, so there's that, and then we got all that stuff. There was the Minotaur, but I think he was just hanging out there.
A Minotaur? You fought a Minotaur?
Yeah, just the Minotaur and a couple of minor golems. And...
lesser
golems, sorry. And...
Your Beatles voice in the back of your
I think
Somehow
besides
Beadle's
that,
lesser than us.
everything else I got was just stuff that worked good for my friends, but I don't think it pertains. Well, there's a map and there's like little glowy spots all over it, and one of the glowy spots is attached to this gem here in my axe, and so I think that there's other shards like the one in my axe on the other glowy spots. So I think that's where I'm gonna go. Is that okay? I mean, I'm not asking permission.
Honestly, you see that as he's reading these scrolls and books, and he puts one arm up and puts his hand into puts his like forehead into his hand, holding his head up as he's like reading through these books. Make a perception check.
Oh shit! I'm afraid now. Oh damn. 5.
Oh, 5. And that's actually just the threshold because you're sitting there. It wasn't hard to pass. But he's rolled up his sleeves, which he doesn't normally do. This is kind of like office hours, after hours. And he seems to be like very invested in these things that you've brought to him. He's reading through them. And you see that as his sleeve is rolled up and he puts his hand, so his like forearm is kind of facing out to you, that there is a small tattoo of Mortimer symbol just above his elbow, and he's like,
hey, nice ink.
I think that you should pursue this.
Okay, cool. Oh,
and if
that's
you
unexpected and appreciated.
if you have questions, I would be happy, no, ecstatic to
are you gonna be my Giles?
to help you with this. I don't know if I can leave, but if you bring me more things, I will help you understand what's going on.
Can I make him a co-signer on my account with limited access?
Are you talking about your bank account?
What a strange thought.
Or like, can I somehow let him have access to?
You need like a sending stone or something.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that would
So you
work
can talk to him,
too.
not access
Yeah,
your
it's
bank account.
Okay. Yes,
You show me
Professor
the slightest kindness, I would like you to have access to my money.
Professor or Striker, I think that I will keep in contact with you the best I can, whether that be through the mail or a speaking stone or whatever I have. I have a good amount of money now. Actually, do you need any money? And I hand him like 50 gold.
Korgan, you don't need to give me this gold. Like,
I have like so much more, so it's not really.
well,
like,
now
a
you're
big
just
deal.
bragging.
I've killed a Minotaur. We talked about this already. Okay, so
She's kind of a big deal.
I think
Yeah.
that I'm gonna pursue this, but I will keep in contact with you and keep you updated because it seems like
Please,
you're
if you
down
find
with-
anything more about
you have a Marthamer
before-
tattoo. Are you like? Do you? He seems pretty.
Oh, when you mention that, he's like, oh, what? I guess you've seen that.
Yes, with my eyes.
When I was your age, I set off on my own adventure, but I did eventually come back. And it's easier here. Things are set up for us to succeed. It's a lot harder out there to forge your own path.
Just because it's hard doesn't mean you don't do it. But I appreciate.
You see that he looks a little dejected, and he's just like, yeah, you're probably
I
right.
appreciate that you're willing to help me. That is very kind, and maybe someday you can join me on an adventure as well.
I would very much like that, but I do have my role here. So, if you find any more of these documents, I will study this what you have here relentlessly. Honestly, I'm just kind of giving you the gist of what I've read through so far. But
Cool.
if you find any more,
I'll set you up with my friend Mugen. She will be much more interested in what you're saying than I am at this moment. So I appreciate you as a person, but Mugen and you are going to be buds.
yes, send this Mugen to me. Is she a dwarf?
No, she is a high elf, but she's actually the same height as me. So
Never seen a high elf down here, but
she'd fit. So I will keep in touch, and I use finger guns.
he kind of like winks and he's just like, let's go.
And I head over to my parents.
Secret
now.
adventure.
Yeah.
He's very excited. He's very stoked. You make your way from the school through the winding corridors, past people's homes. There's like little shops and things that are down there. And eventually come to your parents' home, which is in like the almost like suburban area. Like there's like a little like what is it called? Like a
Cul-de-sac?
subdivision.
Yeah.
That's like split off from the main part. You go down like this little place and there's like a little gate that lets you in because you clearly live there. And you walk up to your parents' home.
Okay. I don't want them to see the axe, obviously. So
Burrower, quiet.
I think
Stop it, Burrower.
I'm surprised I could hear him all the way down here. I
This is very
think
loud.
I'll set it like I did. I feel like there's probably a small entryway, so I think I just want to kind of like set it off to the side and step in. They're probably
There's probably like a foyer, you mean?
yeah, and I kind of want to like
foyer.
hide it like behind that, and then I would assume like as I walk in,
Okay.
they're probably right there. It's
So
not
you go through the-
big,
you go
'cause
through the
they're
front door.
minimalists.
Yeah, you go through the front door. There's a foyer, so you can set your axe in there, and then you enter.
Hey guys.
You see your dad is kind of just sitting there, like on a stone recliner.
It's
And
not
your mom-
comfortable. They know it's not comfortable.
Your mom's in the other room, like preparing like dinner or something, and oh, is that Korgan? And the mom's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're back. Where have you been? People have been talking all over town. They don't know what's going on, and you've just been gone for days.
Yeah. Something came up while I was at the Centennial celebration.
You went to the
and-
Centennial.
Yeah, I wanted
You were
to-
supposed to be at school learning about rocks.
Dad, I know. I've been going to school for like 13 years learning about rocks. I know. And actually, my knowledge of rocks came in quite handy while I was in slaying minotaurs and stuff. So like-
Minotaurs, and you see your mom just like, oh my gods, and just passes out.
So like I had to go take care of some things. And now I'm gonna go again, but this time I'm not gonna come back in 6 days. It's probably gonna be more like a few hundreds of days.
You see that your dad is like picking your mom up off the floor because she's passed out.
She's so
because you
dramatic
said-
all the time.
Because you said you fought a Minotaur, and he's like, Korgan, look what you're doing. Can't you just go to school and become a mason? And it's just, you're breaking your mother's heart. The other families are talking. Your friend Ashley's like settling down with a nice boy, starting a family. This is what we want for you. Why can't you be like that?
What? Why don't you understand that that's not what I want? That will not make me happy. Why don't you care if I'm happy?
What? If you give it a try, I think that you would be happy.
I've tried it. I've been trying it since you've put me in school. I've been trying it all of the time. No one down here even likes me.
You don't.
I don't like everyone that is down here only tolerates me. So I don't necessarily feel like being here.
Korgan, it's just you gotta wise up. You gotta learn how the world works, okay? Like, that's just the real world. This is what our job is.
This is not the real world. Everyone is up there on the real world, not the television show, but they are all on the multi-yonder. We are living in the multi-yonder away from everyone else, and I don't like that.
And that's what we're supposed to do.
I don't
We're
care
mountain
what
dwarves.
we're supposed to do.
Oh, man. Dumathoin, please help my daughter. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, it's not. If Dumathon could do anything, I don't think he can. He hasn't done much, but he's done a lot more. Marthamer doing.
You hold your tongue, lady, under my roof.
I grab my axe and I slam it down.
As you slam your axe onto the ground, your father, holding your unconscious mother, is
get up! This isn't about you.
Is taken back. The bright light that explodes from the axe actually wakes her up a little bit, and she looks up. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's like, honey, no, get behind me. And you see that an individual actually materializes from the light, and he's just like, Korgan's going her own way, brah. It's fine. We've got her back, bro.
This is only the third weirdest thing I've seen in the last few days, Mom and Dad. And he's correct.
It's a very tall, thin elf with very long, shaggy hair, and he's like, my name's Sven, and I am your ancestral guardian.
Didn't know I had those, but that's really cool. See, Mom, Dad, I can get things without you. I have thousands, hundreds of gold now, so
yeah, she's gonna be fine, bro.
Why would I just work all the time when I literally am rich now and I don't need to work, and now I can just go talk to people and learn new things, which you should also consider doing.
You see your parents are very taken back, scared. They're just like, what? There's a ghost here, and I don't know what to do, and Dumathoin, please help us. Sven's just like, it's okay, just need to go with the flow, man. It's fine. We will protect Korgan. She is one of us now.
I've apparently joined a group, and I joined another group with my new friends Mugen and Beadle, and I will be back. Please consider what I have said today. Goodbye.
Okay. You see your dad looking out the windows, just don't tell anybody about this, and I mean, we love you, Korgan.
Oh, fuck, and I just leave as soon as he says that.
You slam the door and head back. The ghostly apparition of Sven, the elf, kind of withers away, and the light kind of recedes back into your axe as you
I wonder
wander down the hall.
I will talk to that gentleman again. I liked his vibe.
Seems like a real free spirit.
So we're going to cut over to Mugen. Mugen, you have passed the gates into the Exalted Rise. It is a much different scene than the cobblestone streets of the common area of the city. More of a smooth, polished granite stones that kind of line the streetways, and a little bit more intricate architecture. Some places more than others. You are heading down the street. As you go into this, there's other high elves. You pretty much only really see high elves. There are some other races that are wealthy that have made their way into the Exalted Rise. There's some hill dwarves and other things like that. I think your landlord is a hill dwarf who is struck it rich and is able to afford living there. So what are you doing?
Just heading to the landlord's house, and big old grin on her face, walking with a little bit of a bounce in her step. And she's very, very excited about paying her rent.
All right. So you make your way down the street, cut over down another street, and kind of close to your home, there is this essentially like almost like an estate style home that has a gate in front of it, and there's like a magic tablet that's like built into the wall that surrounds the estate in front of the gate, and as you walk up to it, it's kind of like a doorbell kind of deal.
Ding dong.
So you press that and you see the face of your landlord's like, "Ah, yes, what can I do for you? You got that rent for me?"
I do.
"Oh, well,
Just let me in and I'll
finally.
give you the money.
Okay." You hear bzzzt, and then the gate just opens.
And I walk on in, just, power walking in, back straight, big happy smile on her face as she approaches the building.
You walk up to the very oversized doors that swing open. There's like a butler who's just like, "Right this way." And you go into the foyer where there's another foyer.
Multiple foyer.
Yes. Where you see that your landlord
This house
is
is only foyer.
yeah. You see the landlord is standing there, and she's just like, "So you've got that rent for me, do you? Finally."
Yep, yeah, I know. It's a little late, and
You're lucky that you have the family name that you do, or else I would have kicked you out long ago.
I'm very grateful for that, but I think this should make up for it. And I reach into a pouch and pull out 10 platinum pieces. I'll let them kind of just fall on the table. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Well, okay, well, this will more than make up enough and then some. I don't know what you did, but I guess I doubted you a little.
Well, that'll teach you.
This is more than enough through the end of the next year, so you're fine. Just go ahead and just don't destroy the place, I suppose.
Right, yeah. I was thinking about that. Since I could pay through then, what if I paid through the following year and I take another 10 platinum out and dunk.
Yeah. You see there's like a sparkle in her eyes, and she's just like, "Yes, take us, that's fine. That's fine with me." And she's like shoveling it into a bag off the table. And she's like, "Oh, just take this somewhere." She like hands it to a butler and she's like, "Put it in the vault."
You're just ensuring 2 years
yeah.
of rent control.
Absolutely.
This is
I just need to sign my lease to make sure that this agreement becomes legally binding and official.
Sure. This is yes. She doesn't have a lease on her. She is able to go grab Mugen's paperwork. Just bring it here quickly. And after a moment, there's like a servant that comes back and puts it on the table, and she hands you a quill, and she's like, "Oh, just please sign, please. Awesome. Yes, I mean, you've got the place for another 2 years. You don't worry about rent. I won't come by and nag you anymore."
Right, if you could remind me maybe like a couple of months before that's up to come back and pay the future rent, that'd be really great.
If you're gonna continue this streak, then I will. Yeah, I have no problem with that. And then you see that she's like kind of jotting it down on a note, and then she hands it to another servant, and it's like, just make sure to remind her in 1 3/4 years.
Well, all right. It was wonderful seeing you, and
Oh, likewise.
Please don't pound on my door ever again, and I'll be on my way.
I will never be at your door again. You make your way out of this estate, walk through the nice garden in the front and past the guards, and make your way onto the street. Burrower is freaking out right now.
So strange how you can hear him from so far away. But
Even underground.
finger guns the guards as I'm
Promoting
walking
the
by.
Mary Guild.
He has some sort of magic in which, like, he can sound an alarm and you all hear it no matter where you are.
Well, he needs to
Should
chill.
we be concerned?
Does he need to be taught when an emergency is?
You also have picked up on the sense that, like, he will bark at literally anybody that looks at him a certain way. So, because
We
he's
need
like trying to
train him
protect,
a little bit
he's trying to
more.
protect your guys' stuff.
The Mary Kai only provides only so much
So,
training
yeah,
for
you-
the dogs.
You make your way out. It is,
Like employees.
you know, like mid-afternoon.
But she's very awkwardly on the way out, like giving smiles and finger gunning the guards and just
The
trying
guard-
to, like
The guards are just like,
Anything?
okay, have a good day.
I pinch one of them on the cheek. I'm like, you're just having a great day today, aren't you? I am.
Thank you. I'm not allowed to leave my post or move, so.
Smack him on the butt and leave.
Does he blush?
Oof. Let's see. Does he? He does. You see that he's like very red faced. He's like, whoa, okay, oh, okay.
And then I'm just happily on the way out. They're like, I saved the library, dude.
Yeah. So you make your way out into this main street. It's like these are like very broad streets, like very well kept, much bigger than like the majority of the city is like footpaths, and this is like almost designed for like carts being able to pass each other, things like that. But you know that your home is not too far away. There's also a lot of other homes and little shops and things like that. What are you doing?
Well, let's see. I know I need to look. I'm so desperate to look into this mystery of these shards and seeing what else. So I'd like to head to the Royal Library.
Okay. You make your way down the street past your home. You kind of like stop and take a look at it as you're walking by. There's some people that live near you that say hi and things like that.
A wave, like exaggerated wave. Like,
Yeah, very excited.
it's a great day in Mugen's life.
You eventually come to a nice building. It's a lot of it is made out of like a nice stone, nice polished stone, shiny. There's like metal, like golden metal, like letters that says like the Certay'n Royal Library that are like inlaid into the stone above. You come in and you find, it's just like shelves and shelves. Like the walls are lined with books. There's a couple librarians that are running around, sorting things, and there's a front desk. You see a lady who's there. It's like, oh yes, how can I? Is there something I can help you find?
Mugen struts on up to the front desk and throws an elbow on and leans in over towards the librarian. Yeah, I'm here for some information today. I'd like access to the library, if I could.
Do you have? I mean, you're welcome to come in. Do you have credentials to get in here? I guess this is a
library card?
specific. Yeah, like essentially, yeah. This is specific knowledge that has been curated. Not anyone can just walk in here. I mean,
I'll be right with you. And she takes a couple, puts a journal up on the table, and then takes out her mimic spell book on top of that, lands it on it, and is then kind of going through the rest of her paperwork and brings out a scroll in front of her and says, "Yes, I am a certified librarian of the Multi Yonder, and I need to go to some of the historical vaults, look into some of the areas of maps and certain points in history.
You see that
Around
another
the continent.
like further down on the counter, you see there's like a short, like blue-haired elf lady who kind of like glances over and then looks at the one that's talking to you, and she's like, just let her pass. She's in here all the time. It's fine. Like, this is Mugen. You're new here. You're gonna see her a lot. And the lady you're speaking with is like, oh, but I guess you're a well-known patron. I will, go ahead and enjoy your time. You recognize this other lady as Certay'n. She is like usually the person at the front desk. This person that you are speaking with is like, you've never seen them before. They're probably new.
Thank you so much. I may need to have access into some of the more arcane areas of the so I might be back to ask for keys and things, maybe some guide, something like that.
You see the lady speaking with you is just like, well, I mean, I don't access to that kind of stuff. And then Certay'n, like, kind of cuts in, and she's like, it's fine. It's fine. Just let her have it. It's okay. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can guide you there. And she folds up the little like desk table thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the little like it's not a door, but it like folds up part of the desk. Comes out, and she's like, right this way, and leads you back into the library. And there's just it's a couple stories tall, books lining the edge, and there's like those crazy slidey ladders and stuff. Right. But there is a back room that she takes you into, and she's like, these are books that are like archived because they have magical properties to them, or they're knowledge that are still being researched, things like that. Hopefully something is in here that you're looking for.
I put a strap around my mimic book friend just to kind of keep him closed.
Yes.
As I enter in, and I ask you, like, if you could bring me a map of the multi-yonder, and perhaps like a book of history on each of one of the major cities. I have some research to do, and I'm going to be looking into things this evening.
Okay.
And then I basically want to try to look at the map that we've got in my book, which I suppose I'll have to like let him out of his little binding that I just bound him in to unbind.
How trusting.
Right. And kind of compare the points of light that are on that map versus like cities or areas. Okay. And then once I can identify what those are, if they are identifiable, then to maybe go look for some books on those places.
Sure. So you are able to your spellbook is a mimic that eats magic. So
like a leash a little bit, you know? Like,
yeah, so you're able to open it, and as long as there's not like magic that is actively being used, it seems to be okay. It's more alert because it is around magical stuff.
Just hold on.
So its eyes are like open, and it's kind of like looking around, but it's not actively trying to eat something. So you seem to be okay, and after a moment, this librarian comes back with a map, like a large map that you can scroll out. You're able to compare and contrast.
And lay it out and...
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of people that have access to this area, so you're pretty much alone.
Maybe just for the sake of the fact that I love my cat, I'll spend 10 minutes and burn a little incense to bring Bender back so that he can...
Yeah, we'll say that as you're researching, you like light an incense and like you continue reading, and like eventually Bender just like reappears. But you are able to like look at your map and find some books on the different peoples of the world and the different regions and things. You learn that your map matches up exactly with the known world, except this one other point of light, which is kind of like off in this weird other area that you don't recognize as part of the known world map. It looks like another, not a full continent, but like an island, but like a large island that is far off to the east that you're not like, you don't know anything about.
Eyes wide, a little bit of drool.
Yeah.
They...
But you do also see that there are points of light. There's one up past the mountains, the Kaldrag Mountains. There's actually two up there. One is up in the northern islands, in the Mage Hand, is what it's called. There's one up past Coldwall, so you feel like you know that there are like frost dwarves that live up there, and they may know something about it. There is the Grass-Grown Sea, which is like a huge like field that expands off towards the east. You see that there's Old Eastvale, and there is also like some sort of large estate off to that direction. It's kind of like in between the two. There's also one to the south of Old Eastvale, but you're not really sure. You know from your map and that map that there doesn't seem to be any sort of like large civilization there. There's not like a city or a big town or anything. There is also one in Turtlesnurch. It seems to be like near what the like capital of that city like would be, that building. There's also one on the western side of the river going through the Whispering Thicket. And you know that the eastern side of the Whispering Thicket is kind of, there are some of the high elves that live in Turtlesnurch have made homes in those trees. It's almost like a suburb-ish area, but the western side is the part that was like kind of dangerous, like more really affected by this like whatever happened, this event that happened like thousands of years ago, to this like the Shattering that you're from, like everyone knows that happened, and there's like this the Looking Glass that shattered, and like there was a surge of wild magic, and like the western side of the Whispering Thicket seems to be like very affected by this. There's also two to the south, one in the desert, and then one out in the Sparrow Isles. The desert, you know, or you've heard, has very large, crazy creatures that live underneath the sand. There's a large group of tabaxi that live out in the desert in this area. There's also the one that in the Sparrow Isles, you also know, is that there's some sort of like colonization, like a colony of like pirates that live down there. So you are able to like kind of associate these points of lights with different either groups or like towns and cities that you can kind of like head for and like work from there and like figure out like bases of operation for each one, except the one that's kind of way off to the east that you aren't familiar with.
All right. Mugen, realizing that she's probably spent a long period of time here in the library, kind of looks to see what the lighting situation might be outside through a window. It's getting close to evening.
You look out through the window, and it does look like the sun it's still up, but it's probably like mid-afternoon in the fall, so it's starting to go down. It's not, high in the sky. It's starting to get down and like a little chilly, probably. But sun's still up.
All right. Wow, this looks like I've found the books that I want to read, and I would, try to like gather them up, get a pile, and maybe roll up the map that I've got. See if I've maybe put, I don't know, sticky pages on it to mark things, and gonna take it all with me down to the front desk, and like, I'd like to check out all of these, please.
you put all these books onto the table, and the new lady who had shown you to this area is like, oh, well, I mean, these are quite valuable. But I mean, yeah, you can check these out. It's fine. It's just to make sure that just please take care of them. And you see that Certay'n like kind of like looks over and is just like, Mugen, you already owe us like 50 gold because you haven't returned so many books.
Right. I definitely have all of those back home, and
It's fine. You just need to bring them back here, though.
and I totally will, but why don't I pay off my library fines today? And I reach into the pouch of many hands, the bag of many hands, and I pull out like just fistfuls of gold, like 5 or 10 at a time. Start putting them on the table.
Yeah, Certay'n actually gets up out of her seat. Like, she's been like pretty like aloof this whole time. She's like, that's fine, and just like just swipes it off into like a drawer and pushes it in. Just let her take whatever book she wants.
And I'd like to donate to any programs that we have that might be, helping like educate young elf children about things in the world. And I pull out another like 5 gold to put into some of the
Okay.
after school programs for the young elf kids.
That's very generous of you. We do have programs like that. We will go ahead and put this into the charity fund, and thank you. And
No problem.
She bows to you.
Here's 5 more.
Jesus, all right. Yeah, you are.
Reading is fundamental.
It's so important for growing minds to have access to all of the knowledge that they might need. I just really want to share books with all of the people of the world. So was that
You see an elf that looks like really looks a lot like LeVar Burton comes out, and he's just like, oh, thank you so much. I will gladly teach reading and the importance of reading to many youth. And then he goes into a back room to record on a magic crystal an episode of his show.
You're wonderful, thank you.
It's weird that he lives in the library. But...
Thank you, ethereal LeVar Burton.
Yes, exactly.
Donates 10 gold.
So-
if they let me check those books out and accept my donations, I'll head back to the gate of the Exalted Rise with my new stack of things to read.
To meet up. Yeah. All right. So you head out of the library and with a huge stack of books, which is much like how Korgan and Beadle met you the first time. And we're going to cut over to Beadle. Beadle, you are, I believe, heading towards your guild house. What's going on?
Beadle's waddling down the street with his new companion, Ibble, the alchemical bumblebee. She's buzzing around him.
Mhm.
They're doing little like sweet tricks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'm making my way to the Mary Kai Guild.
All right. You make your way down. You're, Ibble's buzzing around you. You guys are getting along, kind of really excited about your new friend, and excited to like test out like, oh, I can just like think something, and this thing knows what I'm thinking, and it's really cool.
She's so impressive.
You eventually come to the front of the Mary Kai Guild, which is a large brick building. It's got a pink door, like double doors on the front, and like pink shutters on the windows and stuff. And you crack open the door and come in, and you see there's like 4 or 5 people down on this floor. There's like a front desk area to before they like let you in, with a lady who's standing there. You see some people kind of like walking around in the back room doing things. What are you doing?
He's going to approach the front kiosk with the Mary Kai rep that's there. And, he's going to put a paw on his hip and say, hey girl, I am Beadle Bramblepatch. I'm a traveling representative for the Mary Kai Guild. I am here to make my monthly donation to the goddess, and I would like to inquire, some information about different guilds in Certay'n. I'm not too familiar with the city. What can you tell me about it?
You see that she perks up. It's like a 20-year-old ish, like mid-20s, like blonde elf girl. She's got like big hair, and she's wearing like a tube top, and she's like, "Yes, queen, I'm so excited for you to invest in this business. Oh wait, you're a member? Oh hell yeah, let's go. Let's what do you need to know?" Like and she pulls out like a box. It's like a donation box, and she's just like, "Go ahead and slot this in and just tell me what you need."
Well, yes, I'm an established member. What's your name?
Milkaya?
All right, Milkaya. So I'm Beadle Bramblepatch. I have been with the Mary Kai Guild for going on about 3 years now. I recently have made an additional recruit, so I am going to make my 5 gold piece deposit and also her 5 gold piece deposit.
Well, that's wonderful. Mary Kai be praised.
Yes. Bless her. So anyways, I did reach an additional achievement with the goddess. Take a look-see. Here is Ibble, my alchemical construct.
You have an homunculus?
Yes.
Oh, you're okay. Well, you're like way higher than I am. Holy shit.
I know. I mean, I had already achieved, the card with, with the mastiff. So, but anyways, I would like to speak to you or whoever I can. I have recently been traveling to, some towns that might not be as established of like cities like Certay'n. It's so easy to gain business here.
Yeah, I mean, like land is dotted with small towns. Yeah.
Yes, and I recently spent some time in the Burlap Foothills. So many halflings, so much dry skin, and I helped them as best as I could.
Yes.
But
I need that moisturization.
Yes. During my travels, I did encounter someone with Beadle digs in his pocket and brings out, the little crest from the Chemical Hammer Society. Any idea what this guild is? They were passing this around, and so confusing.
Honestly, I saw that on. There's a guy that came by a couple days ago, and he had that on his like cloak. It was like a pin that he was wearing. I don't really know anything about him, but he was asking some weird questions, and he just kind of asked like who the members were here locally, and he asked how things were going, and then he just kind of left like abruptly. Like he didn't really.
Was he making you uncomfortable? Was he like invading your space?
No, he just it was like he asked who the members were here locally, and then he asked us like how things were going, like financially, if the goddess Mary Kai was like, if we were doing a good job, like if we were recruiting new members. But like before we could even answer that, he just kind of like left.
Do you know if this guild also is within Certay'n?
I don't know, but that symbol looks kind of familiar.
Could I possibly speak to the manager here?
Sure. You see, she goes back behind, and you hear some like discussion, and then another lady comes out. This is a dwarven, like a hill dwarf lady. She's very buff, and she's got like a shawl and like
Please tell me she has an A-line.
yes, she has an A-line. She's got like a shawl and like some like she's got like short shorts and like a vest. And she's dressed really weird. And she's just like, what can I do for you?
I was hoping he knew that was weird. Like, as you were describing that, Marquise, I was like, does he think he's describing a stylish person?
No, she's dressed super. She's dressed really weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beadle does like the like.
What can I do for you?
Does like a double blink, like totally like assaulting her outfit with his eyes. Yes. So you're the manager here at the Mary Kai Guild?
That be right.
And your name is?
My name is Kenzie.
Kenzie. Lovely. So my name is Beadle Bramblepatch. I'm a traveling merchant for the goddess Mary Kai.
Right.
I've been speaking with your associate here about this medallion I'd found.
Well, let me take a look at that.
And could you tell me if they have a guild here in the city? I need to speak with them. It's an important private matter.
She looks over the medallion and kind of turns it over, running her fingers over the edges and things like that.
Light teeth marks.
There are noticing the light teeth marks from Mugen bit it. Well, I don't rightly know what this is, but I do recall somebody having this this pinned to I believe their cloak or something like that. Big furbog fellow.
Yes. I encountered a furbolg on my travels to sell products of our goddess.
Right. Is this where you got the medallion?
Correct. I feel like he is really inclined to join the guild, so I need to find him.
Well, I'm not sure where this came from, but I've definitely seen this symbol somewhere. I would say probably find him. Come to think of it, I think I've seen this symbol on a wall.
Uh-huh.
Like just south of here, like around the corner. I would go look there.
Oh, just around the
Right.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Well, I have, I've made my monthly payment for the guild. Everything's going great. My Mastiff companion or coworker, Burrower, is doing a fantastic job. Sales are up. Nothing further to report, so I'll be on my way.
Sounds great. Keep doing the goddess's work.
Every damn day. You be blessed.
And blessed be you.
Beadle, that's Beadle's way. All right.
Hashtag blessed babe.
Yes, you hashtag boss babe. And me, I'm a hashtag boss badger.
Exactly, yeah.
What do we hashtag?
There's magical social media.
Yes.
Magical
Yes.
Twitter.
Tweeter.
You gotta key in the pound sign on your phone. So Beadle and Ibble are going to exit the guild. And try and make their way down the street and around the corner to try to see if they can find this symbol on the wall.
Okay, so you head down, you exit the guild and take the corner. There is a street that's kind of like passing by the side, like running along the side of the building. So as you walk down that way, there's a lot of people, coming and going, people going to different shops, people walking past you. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, 20.
A natural 20 or a nat 20? Oh, a nat 20? Okay.
A natural.
As you make your way, you get down like a couple of houses. You pass the guild house, and you pass like a couple more buildings. And what you notice is there's you see like a guy, like a very tall person. He's wearing like a cloak, and he's walking out from an alley that looks like it's just a dead end.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm 3'3", so like,
dude's like 7 foot tall.
oh goodness. Okay. So very obvious.
He's pretty tall. He sticks out a little bit, but he's wearing like a cloak, so you can't see who he is.
Okay. I guess I'll approach the alley.
As you approach the alley, this person is like walking very close to you. Go ahead and make another perception check.
The 7 foot tall fella?
Yeah, like you're walking towards him because he's coming out of this alley.
That'll be a 10.
As you've gotten closer, and because this would actually be easier for you because you're so short. Because you're so short, you're able to like look up and see under the hood. This guy is a furbolg.
Oh.
He looks familiar.
I mean, and since I'm so short, does he see me passing? Because I'm definitely out of line of sight.
He is looking at you.
Oh, okay. If I look him in the face, do I recognize him as
He seems familiar.
the fella, Bronson fella, that furbolg?
Yeah.
Beadle will, reach out and kind of like yanksy on like, the cloak and say, "Is that you, Bronson?"
You see he stops moving and he's... Wait, who are you? Wait. You're that badger fellow that helped me out when the owlbear attacked.
Yes, why, yes, I am. I'm Beadle Bramblepatch. I am a representative of, I'm an independent consultant of the goddess Mary Kai. I believe I gave you my card. You gave me this here medallion of yours for your guild.
Right. Yeah. You seem to be, well, I mean, from what I saw, you seem to be pretty well versed in alchemical knowledge, and I didn't expect to see you so soon, but or that I would be recognized here. But what are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, and look at my latest alchemical achievement. This is Ibble, the bumblebee. She's a homunculus.
A homunculus.
I'm very proud of myself.
Quite the achievement, actually. Well, he's like, you see that he's like looking around to see if anybody has recognized him. He seems a little like sketch, a little like not towards you, but just like he's making sure he's not being watched. And he's like, "Well, come with me. I've got I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but I'd like to tell you more." And he turns around and he heads back towards the dead end.
Okay, yeah, Sure, I'll come along. I do have some questions.
Make
my
another perception check.
My recent travels. Maybe you could assist. 9.
It just looks like a normal alleyway.
Okay. Are we just gonna walk and talk here in private?
Just
In the alley?
just
Like, are we going to be alone in an alley together?
Do I need to scream?
just give me a moment. Just one moment, please. You guys get to the end of the
Stand
alley.
by, Ibble. I might need.
Yes.
Yeah, at least you have Ibble. She could probably come find one of us.
Yeah.
You see that he gets to the end of the alley and he traces his finger down a certain line between the bricks, and as he does that, the bricks fade away into what seems to be like an opening. You guys enter this opening, and it looks as though the area looks like a city market street. There's like storefronts with large display windows, but it all is like dark, like it's night. There are street lamps holding large blue crystals that light the area in a soft blue light, and there's like flickering of fire that's like dancing on the cobblestone street and the bricks of the buildings that flank the street, coming through the different windows. They look like shops.
Okay.
And as you enter, you see that the brick behind you kind of rebuilds itself. And he's like, welcome to the world of the chemical hammer. This is a secret society, I guess you could call it.
I was just about to say a secret society, Bronson.
Yeah. It seems as though this area exists in a space between buildings that like people don't really know about. It's like a weird space between space kind of thing, like almost like a little pocket dimension kind of thing. And he takes you past a bunch of shops to a little shop of his own, and there's like an anvil in his shop. He lights a little lantern in the shop, and it lights up with a blue glow that illuminates the area. He's got like an anvil, and then like a fireplace, like forge area, and then there's like a bunch of like beakers and like little burners to like boil chemicals, and like an alchemy table, whole bunch of different things. He's like, well, I come here, this is kind of like a space that people of my society can come and use for their own research or experiments and things like that, outside of the eye of the kingdom and the society, because sometimes we're testing things that can be a little, for the common folk, can be seen as a little non-ethical. But
so you're an alchemist then?
Yes, as I recognize that you were, and I thought I didn't expect to run into you, but now that you're here, I feel that you could benefit from having this place, knowledge of this place, and being able to try out things. Or we actually have there's a whole network of us that we work together to learn things from each other and further our experiments.
This is quite a wonderful laboratory you have here. I've never seen the like of it at the Mary Kai Guild, and I've been crafting potions for them for years.
The Mary Kai Guild is a good stepping stone, but honestly, a lot of people never move past it, and they also have to work within the light of the society, and so they're a little bit restricted.
Yeah, yes, there's quite a book of rules when you join the Mary Kai Guild of what you're allowed to craft. So I hear you on that one. But so in my recent travels, I know we ran into you, head to head with an owlbear. But
and I thank you for assisting there. That was quite scary.
Oh yes, the first time I'd ever seen one of them. But so when we were traveling, we had found a dragon sword actually, and some secret ruins, and in doing so, had kind of ran into a sort of artifact. And I believe you'd said you'd been traveling from Old East Vale.
Correct. That's
where
I hail from.
I actually, that is where I joined the Mary Kai Guild and became a traveling, merchant for the guild. But there is a sales badger for the Mary Kai Guild. This artifact we discovered is like a shard of some sort of light, and I believe there might be one located near Old East Vale, and I don't know if your guild might have any knowledge of it there.
You see his face lights up a bit when you mention a shard of light that you found, and he kind of turns away from you for a moment and lights the fire in the forge and stokes it up a bit before he turns back to you. Takes a moment to do that and looks back, and he's like, these things have been spoken of, but like I said before, this society holds knowledge that is unknown to a lot of people, including kings. Like, we hold some information that would otherwise be considered lost to time. And we're very secretive about it because falling in the wrong hands, this could be bad. But there is mention of these things. One is mentioned to be the last known recorded evidence of this was near Old Eastvale. We have not found it yet. People within the Chemical Hammer Society have been searching for it, but have yet to find it. Though the land is literally littered with old ruins from a time before the shattering. So, which ruin is it in? I don't know. But you say you found one.
Yes, and it has seemed to increase my friend's strength tremendously.
Well, these shards, I mean, the thing as a whole, in general, this looking glass was like a font of magic. It was...
I thought it was just a legend.
I mean, most people do. And honestly, that benefits us greatly because most people think it's a legend and they don't go looking for it. But the fact that you found one, I had my doubts, but like it's clearly true. According to what you're saying. So
I don't have any evidence other than my word, but it's true.
He's going to make an insight check.
Beadle widens his eyes, bats his lashes.
I mean, he rolled pretty high. He can
expertise persuasion.
Yeah, he can tell.
Expertise persuasion.
He rolled really high, so he's like, he can tell that you're telling the truth. Like you're very excited about this, and you're being very genuine. So like, he's like, well, yeah, I don't have expansive knowledge on this, but our archives back in Old Eastvale do. I mean, I can answer questions that you may have to the best of my ability, but what you want to do is seek out Lily in
Lily. Okay, so she's a representative of the Chemical Hammer Society in Old Eastvale.
Yes, in Old Eastvale, what you want to do is
and that's Lily with,
Lili.
Not E's. Gotcha.
Yes.
That was really
In the northernmost part of the city, you'll find the graveyard, and in one of the gravestones will have our mark on it. And if you go there,
what an interesting place to hide your guild.
If you go there and utter the words, I forgot what the words were.
Ooga booga.
If you go there and utter the words ooga booga,
you don't have to use that.
no, I'm using it. It's canon now. Yeah, it's canon now. If you go there and utter the words ooga booga,
Okay.
it will the grave will open to a staircase that will lead you down into our Chemical Hammer Society. Lily will be down there and she will know more. And there's also an archive with a wealth of knowledge that is not known to most.
Wow, I do. Another one of my friends is quite the archivist and he's really good at reading.
Well,
I like books.
I like books, y'all.
This is wonderful, Bronson. I'm absolutely impressed with your guild. This, not to knock on my goddess Mary Kai, but this is way cooler than what she might have to offer.
Well, we don't. The nice thing about this guild
Are
is
you
that
recruiting?
we don't require that you follow any specific god or goddess. This is more of just like a society of people who think along the same lines. But you can worship any god you want. We are, if you show us that you have what it takes to be part of the Chemical Hammer Society, then you are more than welcome to join. But I wouldn't talk about it outside of people you truly trust.
Not a word. I certainly don't want to leave you, Mary Kai.
Hang
Just,
on to
like,
that
speaks
medallion
into the air.
and speak with Lily, and we'll see where we're at with you gaining access to the full benefit of the Chemical Hammer.
Well, thank you, Bronson. This is extremely helpful, and I look forward to working with your guild soon. And Ibble and I here will be off.
All right, he leads you back through the street and back to the secret door where he bows to you as the door bricks itself back up, and you find yourself in a dead-end alleyway, and that is where we'll end our story tonight.